Chapter 5. Literally Turning It Around. So after the Christmas tree fiasco, I decided to meet up with Flynn and discuss what the message in the Nativity meant. My connection that my parents had with the supposed Professor Carson gave the opportunity for him to come visit me at home. As many do when they enter our house, Flynn's jaw dropped to the floor. "Wow, you guys really do Christmas to the point." I just shrugged. We went over to one of the game tables in the den right across from our giant Christmas tree. He had spread out a few maps and other documents, and then pulled out a wrapped scroll-looking thing from his satchel. Oh no, another scroll? Haven't I had my fair share of trouble with scrolls already? Anyway, he unraveled the scroll and started to explain it. "Through my studies at the library, I have found that there is a supposed legend called the Carol of the Crib. It is said that if you piece together certain lyrics from Christmas carols in the right order, you will be able to find the location of Jesus' crib." Well then, that explains a lot then. No wonder I have been hearing Christmas carols at weird points. Also explains why the weird phenomenons have been happening. So it's a puzzle, basically. Yes, and from what you have just told me here, I think you have put together a couple of the pieces, Flynn responded. He then moved his hand to the bottom of the scroll. There was a picture. It was two lines crossed, sort of like a high X and a circle underneath. This was the part that Flynn didn't understand. Frankly, I didn't either, but I thought about it. Flynn looked at the picture closer, and then saw it was actually detachable. Well, how about that? They had stickers all the way back then. He held it up to the light, but saw no change. He set it down, and I looked at it again. Two lines that form a high cross and a circle beneath them. Maybe the circle is a door, and the two lines are to form an enclosure or tent. This could be a symbol for a tomb. No, that's ridiculous. With all the other related things, this has to be related to Christmas, a birth, the birth. I was actually pretty proud of myself. I had come up with a pretty good thought. When I said tomb, I was probably thinking crypt. You see, when my great-grandfather went hunting for that weird skull thingy, he had to go to the crypt, or crib, of Francisco de Orellana, otherwise known as his final resting place. Or, at least I think. Those film, no audio file things from the 50s were getting very grainy. Even Flynn agreed that the symbol could mean that, but could not make heads or tails of what the connection was to the carols. He quickly dismissed it. I mean, we were crossing into Easter territory here. I looked at the clock and noticed it was getting a little late. We welcomed Flynn to stay for dinner. Actually, my parents welcomed him. I was still a little annoyed that he thought that he housed the Ark. After dinner, my parents then asked Flynn if he would like to accompany them on a tour around Main Street, and see the other Christmas things that he and I did not try to destroy. He agreed, and I stayed behind, not only to try and figure out a little bit more about this treasure, but to watch some good old-fashioned Christmas specials. Nothing like them. I mean, tons of entertainment. Especially the ones that I didn't get to watch with my friends. Charlie Brown Christmas, Santa Claus with an E, Polar Express, Christmas-themed TV episodes, Danny Wilcox and the Carol of the Crib. Whoops, sorry about that. I would even watch a couple of Hallmark movies, mainly for the stars. Colin Ferguson from Eureka, Candace Cameron Bure from Full House, and of course, Danica McKellar from The Wonder Years. Danica. The smile, the hair, the eyes. I could stare into those big brown eyes forever and ever and ever. Whoa, sorry. Got way sidetracked there. After a while of watching, there was a knock at the door. Remembering my encounter with my cousin Roger, I was cautious about opening the door, but was pleased to see Jack, and a few steps behind him, Monica. Well, I wasn't expecting this. Oh no, were they a thing? Oh, please, no. Insert Frasier catchphrase here.
Oh, dear God!
Behind Monica was an additional person. A slightly smaller person. I welcomed them all in, and we went into the den, and I showed them the scroll and picked up the, quote, sticker again. I overheard about this whole shebang with the manger and this librarian. Thought I'd ask a little more about it. Despite my thoughts about you, this is actually starting to pique my interest. That's why I brought my friend Samantha along. She seems to know a little bit about this. Pleasure, Samantha. Likewise. Know anything about what you gathered? Only from what I've learned up until now. You know, Jack, we were always digging around for stuff at St. Jane's. Can you make any sense of this? He held up the sticker. Looks kind of like some kind of house, a funny-looking ornament, a badly drawn tree. I get it. Wait, did you say badly drawn? He gave it back to me, and I looked at it more. I started to move my fingers so that the picture was turning, and everyone crowded around me. We now saw the circle basically sitting in the top half of the X. I squinted a bit at the picture by the light of the fire in the fireplace and the lights in the tree. It then hit me. I don't know why I didn't see it before. Not only did I understand the connection of the carols, but another meaning of the word. It's true that crib can be perceived as a resting place. Sometimes. But it can also mean birthplace, like a baby's crib. This meant that the carol of the crib was a way of finding out the manger of Jesus. It's kind of funny how I just needed to look at it from a different point of view. I literally turned it around. I guess it kind of makes sense with the other clues. You know this design? Monica questioned. Yeah, it was a drawing of the manger I did a long time ago. I actually gave it away and I knew exactly where it is. Lucky for me, I would be heading there tomorrow night. I had to let everyone know to meet me at this thing tomorrow night. I welcomed Monica and Samantha to come along, but Jack had other plans. I then stopped. This was a realization about this clue. I dashed to the window like the guy in The Night Before Christmas. What are you doing? Monica said. Slow down, man, said Jack. Are you attempting to howl at the moon? Wondered Samantha. I didn't hear any of them. Wouldn't you know, the starry sky was clear and the clock read midnight. This answer really did come upon a midnight clear. How about your library friend? Should we give him a call? Jack asked. He was right. Should I really have him share within this adventure? Find out in the next chapter.